Guys, welcome back to LS Vintage Design. I'm Lisa. If you're new, welcome. We are happy you found us. Today we are talking about collections. Why you collect? Are you collecting for them to possibly increase in value? Are you like a retirement fund sort of? Do you collect just because you love them? And if you did want to collect for value over time, do you know what is appreciating and what's not? Let's get into all this because it's interesting. Okay, yes, I still have my Christmas up. It's coming down, don't worry. I was sick between the end of December and a couple of weeks ago, so it's coming down. But in the meantime, behind me is my collection of vintage salt and pepper shakers. And as cool as they are, I'll show you a couple, as cool as they are and hard to find now, they don't have a lot of value. They have value to me sentimentally or, because I love them, but they don't have a lot of value, a lot of bank. And that's because salt and pepper shakers just don't appreciate in value, okay? Now, in a few years, if I get ready to sell, I might have one or two sets that might be worth over $100, maybe. But for the most part, they're all going to be between $5 and, $50. And that's it. So even if the only way I would be able to, cash in on my collection would be to have quite a few that are in that higher 50 range. That's okay. Like I said, I don't collect them for that. Now, you can find some rare pieces that if they're in excellent shape, no crazing, no chips, or cracks. This is Mr. Mustard, and these are very valuable. They do appreciate in value, and he's in great shape. He has no cracks, no crazing. And crazing, for those that don't know, is that fine cracking of the paint under the ceramic glaze. So you'll look and there'll be like just thousands and thousands of like little cracks running everywhere. That's crazy because it's under the clear glaze on your ceramics. And when I say he's worth, I mean he's probably worth 75 to 100 now. Possibly he could be 150 later, okay? So you're not talking a lot of value with these. But like I said, love. Now this little set is one of your quote unquote higher end ones because they have the gold trim on them. And these are Shawnee salt and pepper shakers. So what kind of vintage items or anything is collectible? What should you look for if you want to collect to have like a retirement fund or just a little nest egg? Well, I wrote it down so I would remember. One, stamps. I mean, people have been collecting stamps forever. We know they appreciate in value. We know they're worth money. Fine art is one that we know appreciates in value. Now here's one, toys. Did you know that toys are expected to swell to a $35.3 billion collectible industry by 2032? That's crazy. And an example is the original Star Wars toys from 1977. Comic books, any comic books between the 1930s and the 1970s, there's a lot of valuable comic books. Jewelry, you have gold and silver, the markets go up and down, your fine gemstones. Now here's one that I didn't know, sneakers. And this has come about, this is fairly recently, I believe since the 80s, when they started coming out with all those fancy Air Jordan. The sneaker industry is a $69 billion industry in 2021. That was 2 years ago. Projected to be worth $113 billion in 2025. I think I need to go find some sneakers. And then, of course, the last one, there was 7, fine wine. But now you have to be patient with fine wine. You have to spend to get them, just like you do with the comic books, or probably the sneakers as well. The jewelry, the art, too. You're putting out a big outlay of cash out front, but it pays off. But the wine is slower. It takes years and years, at least sometimes 10 years, a decade, to be worth something. There has been a return rate on fine wines of 10.6% over the last 15 years. So that just gives you an idea Okay, another thing that's vintage that is highly collectible are purses, believe it or not. But they have to be in good condition. Now, some of the most sought after purses are the antique little mesh bags. They're like chain linked all together. The gold, they can be black, they can be silver. Those are very sought after. Also, the purses that are all the little beads, those are very sought after. The ones that are bejeweled around the frames, very, very hot and sought after. Then you also have the purses that are lucite, the clear ones, but the vintage lucite ones, not the newer ones. And then some brands. You have Enid Collins, you have Judith, oh, I can't remember Judith's name, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada. Those are just some brands that are going to hold their value, continue to hold their value. They're very, very sought after. The last vintage item that, of course, is a very collectible and bankable item are cars, vintage cars. But again, for all of these items that are very sought after, that hold their value, that increase in their value, that can be a little nice nest egg for you, you have to pay to get them, okay? They're not just, you're going to go pay a few bucks and get these and then they're going to be worth a lot of money. You have to pay a lot of money to make a lot of money, and I think that's kind of the adage for everything. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed our little talk about collectibles. I will see you at the end of the week because we have Cooking Vintage episode 2. We're baking tea cakes. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.